You know, I'm sure a lot of people are getting sick and tired, maybe questioning why, we keep coming out and we keep talking about the whole Gem and the Holograms deal and why it's basically not the movie we want it to be. You know, it's it's basically you go to YouTube, you put in Gem and the Trailer's hologram reaction, and it's like, and it's basically video after video after video after video, and most of the reactions and reviews are like, this ain't Gem and the Holograms. You go and Google trailer reactions. You basically put in Gem and the Holograms right in Google search or Bing search or whatever, and basically it's everybody is saying the same thing. The trailer, the movie doesn't get it right. The trailer, the people behind the movie, the trailer basically showcases that the people behind the film don't know what they're doing. They got everything wrong. They're missing certain elements or major elements, and that this, and there are some people like myself who have come out, and I've said it several times. Say what you will about the Michael Bay Transformer films. Say what you will about the G.I. Joe films, but at least 60% of those films, 60% of the film stays true to the source material. True, 40% of it, who knows what the heck they thought, who knows what the heck they were thinking, kind of goes through people's minds and all that, but 60%, in my opinion, of the films are true to the source materials. You have Autobots, you have Decepticons, you have the Human Allies, you have G.I. Joe, you have the Joes, you have Cobra. It's like, you have all that, and yet with Gem, you have none of those things. You have none of the things that made Gem what it was. You have none of the things that made this cartoon the cult favorite among girls and even young boys. It has nothing, the movie has nothing to do. Now, here's what's funny though. You have Stefan Scott, who about 10 hours ago, according to Google, and I think you can find this on YouTube, was talking about her new movie, one of her movies coming out in the next week or so, called Insidious, which is the third chapter in the Insidious horror series, called Insidious Chapter 3, right? Well, Stefan Scott also plays Kimber in the Gem and the Holograms film, and she basically said, according to a report, that, and I'm sure you can listen to what she has to say, you can listen and hear what she has to say as well in the YouTube video. She basically says, overall she's saying don't judge the movie by the trailer. Basically, don't judge the book by its cover, because there's more to it than you think. And basically she comes out and says, why ruin everything? Why show everything in the trailer when people that go see the movie can be surprised about what they see? Now, she says some other things that people will enjoy what they see. They'll get a kick out of it. Again, you could watch the video. It's fine to say all that, especially if you're in the movie. You want people to go see the movie you're in. You can say whatever you want. You could say and hype it up and make it sound like it's going to be the greatest film of all time. But that's just to promote. That's just you promoting the film, not just for yourself, but for the studio that's releasing it, that's distributing it. You're not saying that for Hasbro Studios. You're not saying that for Allspark Pictures. You're saying that for yourself, to promote yourself in the film, to get your name out there more, and you're also saying that to promote Universal Pictures. That's what you're doing. Now, is it good and everything to want to promote and say, oh, don't judge it by its cover, there's more to it than you think? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine and everything if you want to get people to go and see it, and you want people to second guess and say, okay, maybe we shouldn't judge it just yet. But I think it's a little too late. It's a little too late for that, because when the trailer, yes, it's the first trailer, comes out and basically showcases everything about the movie and showcases that the movie has nothing really to do with the cartoon, you can't really blame people for coming out and doing videos and blogs and message boards basically slamming this movie before it even comes out. You even have somebody at change.org named Amelia Jordan, and she has 455 supporters. I'm one of those 455 that have signed a petition that she is named, that she's entitled, that she's petitioning to Universal Pictures, that she's entitled change, and this is what she's titled the petition she's sending to Universal Pictures. She's entitled it, change the title of Jem and the Holograms to something else. She says that. And if I can pull it up here, it should pop up anytime. This is the title of the petition. Take a look at that. This is the title of the petition. I don't know if you can see that very well. Okay, that's the title of the petition. Now, she has, as of right now, 455 supporters. This is what she says, and I quote, "Like millions of people, I grew up with Jem and the Holograms cartoon series. I was elated to hear that the show would be making a live-action comeback. I was sickened and enraged at the release of the live-action preview today. This movie is nothing like the cartoons, and to preserve everything about the original show, the title of the movie should be changed to reflect a completely different story and message. These crimes of this movie include not having the Misfits, whitewashing the character of Shayna, removing synergy from the plot, removing the holograms from the plot, having a boy band, One Direction, sing the song for the preview instead of hearing original Jem and the Holograms music, completely and totally representing nothing about the original messages, styles, or musical art of the cartoon." And then she closes out by saying, "This is," and then she puts this in caps, she puts this word in caps, "not Jem and the Holograms. It's a bitter and insulting disappointment." And she started this petition 1 week ago, and in 6 days she has gotten 250 supporters, and overall she has 455 supporters, and she needs 45 more to reach 500. Basically reach the goal needed to send this petition, maybe along with a bunch of emails and faxes and other petitions that will probably be made to Universal Pictures to get them to change the title of the movie to something else, maybe even take the effort to redub the lines so that Jem's name is changed to somebody else's name, and thus kind of clear the path for an actual legit Jem and the Holograms live action movie to be made that actually is based on the source material, and in a sense like Transformers and G.I. Joe has at least a 60, maybe 70% relation to the original source material, has something to do with it. You know, has a synergy in there, has Misfits, has Stingers, has how they become the Holograms, how Jericho and Jem are able to switch from one to the other. And you know, it doesn't surprise me that this is happening. I mean, I've said in my videos, and I'm sure a lot of people would agree, that Jem and the Holograms, the movie Universal better pray if the petition, hear me out. If Universal doesn't take these petitions, emails, and faxes that they get seriously, from all the way around, because it's not just fans, it's every single person. You've got William Shatner, you've got all the news media outlets, everybody's saying that this has nothing to do with Jem and the Holograms. You got AMC Theaters, everybody. So if Universal Pictures doesn't wake up and say, okay, we'll redub it, we'll name it something else, we'll redub, reshoot the lines and all that, and it'll be something else, blah, blah, blah. And oh, by the way, we'll redo Jem and the Holograms the way you want it to be, or the way it should be, da-da-da. If Universal doesn't take any of that seriously and goes ahead and releases this film, they better pray to God that they have a huge hit on their hands. And they better pray to God that what Stefan Scott is saying in her interview that she did promoting her other movie that comes out in a few weeks is true. They better hope that what she's saying is true and it lives up to what she's saying. Because that's the only way they're going to get a hit. And they better pray they have a hit. Because I have a feeling if they don't and this flops, then not only is Hasbro, like I said in the past, going to sever ties with them or be very careful about how they approach Universal with certain movie ideas to do with them, but they're going to take the Jem. But if they decide to do a Jem and the Holograms remake, Because we've seen movie studios do that. Look at Fantastic Four, look at Spider-Man. You know, if Hasbro decides to take that go in that direction and reboot the movie, reboot the live-action movie into a newer movie, into a movie that actually represents the source material, actually presents the original source material the way fans are hoping for it to be, you know, I don't know what else to say. I mean, Universal's gonna have a lot of explaining to do. And this is what happens when you only allow $500 million to be the budget for a film. $500 million is chump change. And this is why, overall, that not only with this petition and everybody talking about how this has nothing to do with Jim and the Holograms, even celebrities talking about it, and other media outlets, this is why I believe sooner or later it is going to go in that direction of the Spider-Man films. It's going to go in the direction of the Fantastic Four films. And you're going to have Hasbro get on Universal, or maybe go to someone like Paramount who they have a more successful relationship with, and they're going to say, we want you to help us distribute and make a Gem movie, a Gem and the Holograms movie that's true, or basically 70% true or 80% true to the source material. That has actual holograms, has Synergy, has Misfits, has an Eric Raymond. I've got a feeling that's going to happen, and it's going to happen a lot sooner. I guarantee you that after this movie's released, if they go through with it, you're going to get word that Hasbro is going to go and make a remake of this, and they're going to make it true to the source material, even if they have to distribute it through the All-Sparks Picture distribution. I just see it happening. I really do. And, a lot of people point out things wrong with it. And it's not just, Synergy not being in it, Misfits not being in it, Starlight Music not being, owned by Jericho or anything, or founded by a father and given to Jericho as an inheritance, all that, the orphanage and all that. One of the other things they say is that the holograms are not the age that the holograms need to be. Because in the cartoon, you can obviously see that they're like in their 20s, maybe mid-20s, something like that. The youngest is Kimber and maybe, Aja, and that's it. Those are the two youngest, and the oldest are Shayna and Jem. And yet, in the film, they're all teenagers. What sense does that make? So, to me, I have a feeling, with all that said, and then, like I said, the Change.org petition, I have a feeling that Jim and the Holograms movie, whether Universal goes ahead and does release it or not, and they probably will release it, I've got a feeling Hasbro is going to end up doing a remake of it, just like Fox has done with Fantastic Four, just like Sony has done with Spider-Man. Hasbro, and maybe Universal, or maybe Hasbro along with Paramount or whoever, is going to end up doing a remake of Gem and the Holograms, and it's going to be something that's closer to the source material than what this movie is. So, and I've got a feeling it's going to have a bigger budget. So, with that said, that's all I'm going to say here with this video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. Do you think Gem and the Holograms is going to get a remake by Hasbro Studios and maybe distributed either by Universal again or maybe by Paramount or somebody else? You let me know what you think down below. Comment if you like. I'll try to provide the link down below to the Change.org if you want to see it. I think you can also see it in the comment section of one of my videos where I talk about the trailer reaction, my reaction to the trailer. So check it out, click on it, sign it, and hopefully maybe it might do something that will get Universal, maybe even get Hasbro thinking, you know what, we goofed, let's trash this, and let's make a Gem and the Holograms that represents what the original source material was about. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'll talk to y'all later. Good night.